Well, good day, or is it good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and maybe to a few of you, good night. This is Leading Ladies, Leaving Legacies, and we're here with you almost every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're global, and that said, it's always my pleasure, my honor, and my joy, it happens to be my name, to welcome you to Leading Ladies, Leaving Legacies. The work that I do is as a leadership and signature style specialist, far removed from what most do, and yet what most do is acceptable. It's great. But that's another conversation which we will be having in time. But every Wednesday, I bring to you a leading lady who's leaving a legacy. And today is no exception. My featured guest speaker today is a youngster, in my humble opinion, but she's brilliant because she's very much immersed herself in the AI business. Nathalie Chauvel, she's French, woohoo, I love that, is the CEO of Synergy Pro Solutions and a leading AI success coach. She specializes in helping small businesses streamline their business and their workday, optimize their operations, and professional maximizing what they do, the skills that they're using with their AI tools. I could go on and on and on sharing with you a lot about Nathalie, which I'm getting to know her more and more and more. And I adore this young lady. You know, I am old-fashioned, old school back in the day, but here's the separator and the caveat, really. I love being around young people. I love learning with and from them. I love sharing. And this lady has taught me a lot thus far, and we have so much more to do together. So what do you have to do? You know the drill. All you have to do is just sit back and relax and help me welcome our featured guest speaker, Nathalie Chauvel. Nathalie, come on up, as they say. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, and I'm happy to have you here. Can't you tell? I'm just thrilled.
I'm happy to be here.
I'm happy that you're here because your work ignites something in me. It excites me. And I'm passionate in wanting to know more and more and more. So before we get going with all the brilliance that you're going to share with us, how did you get started on this AI journey and being this success coach? What brought you to AI? I know it's in the stratosphere now, but how did you get here?
Yeah, so I have years of experience as a recruiter, both in London and in New York. And I felt that in recruitment, placing candidates out in the industry and streamlining our workflow, I felt there was a need for AI. And I worked for a company once before that laid me off due to AI. So I wanted to understand more about AI. Yeah, and it really helped me in terms of my business and to streamline my workflow and to help me with my day-to-day. So I wanted to be able to do that for businesses.
Natalie, I have to interject because what you just shared with us is so powerful, and it speaks volumes about this whole new awareness that all of us are involved with. They laid you off, and you said because of AI. So you wanted to know a little bit more about it and learn, and that's brilliant. That's brilliant. But then you said you started off as a recruiter. You know, I did that for a short time too. I know what that entails. But you lived in London and New York, and I'm a hardcore New Yorker. And you're still in New York, aren't you?
Yes, I
Yes,
am.
yes. So they laid you off, and then you decided you wanted to get more and more learning, knowing about AI. So once you began to do that, what ignited you? What made you say, this is what I'm going to do?
So I wanted to understand, what is everybody scared about AI and what is AI? So
Yeah.
AI for me became more of an assistant, more of a marketer, more of an assistant, more to help me to become a better employee, to then become a better business person.
Ooh.
So from there, instead of working slow, I worked faster and smarter to then make, better decision making, to be able to work closer with my clients instead of working away from my clients. And
Wow.
that's what I teach my clients to do.
Wow. I'm blown away by the way you express that, because I think a lot of people, and you use that word, they're scared, they're afraid of, but you just walked into the fray and decided, I'm going to not let this master me. That takes a very strong DNA and an ability to go beyond. You
Yes.
go out, way out into the stratosphere. I really celebrate you for that. So that said, how are you helping small businesses streamline their work days now? How are you going about that? You don't have to give us all of your tools and your nuggets, but what are some of the things that you're helping small businesses who probably are more afraid than the larger corporate companies to stay and learn and maximize with AI? What are you doing in that direction?
So, for example, I have a client who's a nurse and has her own business, and she was overwhelmed. She had a lot of clients. She was super busy. So, what I did was I got to know her and her business. And what I did was I streamlined her business and help her manage her calendar a bit better, utilizing AI. And now she's much more successful. She's able to work better. She's able to work very closely with her clients and not
Yes.
losing any of her clients.
Oh, you know what? It's amazing to me how so much of what we're all about, all of us, no matter what category, what level, and where we're at, you use that word overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm.
Because AI, as frightening as it can be, it is overwhelming for most of us. It was for me initially, and now I have a deeper appreciation for it. But you said you helped her to streamline her calendar. You can help me with that because sometimes I find I'm missing more appointments than I need to. So that in itself is a nugget. And a lot of people who are maybe more organized and more focused, they need that. So streamlining the businesses. And what else are you doing as far as helping them to simplify? I bet that's a biggie, though, streamlining that calendar so they stay more in contact and connections with the people that they're working with. That is a biggie, isn't it?
That is a biggie. And then what I've realized with a lot of my small businesses, they were losing a lot of their clients, right?
Mm-hmm.
Through their messaging. So, for example, a lot of their clients were trying to get a hold of them, but they
Yes.
weren't getting a hold of them. So, through that, I decided to create, and we're in the process of creating an AI assistant,
Woo!
receptionist, AI assistant / receptionist. So that I'm going to be launching in the next couple of months.
I like that. I like
Mm-hmm.
that. Now, when you and this I want to know about, well, I'm going to stay in contact with you, but when you talk about simplifying recruiting, that's a biggie because today, almost, Natalie, almost everything is automated. And you
Yes.
call up, you don't get a human being anymore.
No.
So how are you going to automate your AI call system or whatever name you're giving it so that there's a more human touch involved with it? I really want to know that because sometimes I'm on the phone and you get these from one robot to another. It drives me nuts. So how are you simplifying your recruiting system for the businesses that you're working with? If you can share any of that.
So right now I'm working with a recruitment company, and
Okay.
how we're utilizing, I'm still working with the hiring managers and the clients. However, the AI is doing the sourcing, which
Ah,
is yeah, which
yes.
is amazing. Um and with the yeah, I mean, so it's taking away 5 hours of my time of sourcing and spending time contacting candidates, passive and active candidates. So the sourcing will go out there, look for the AI will go out there, look for the candidates, and not only find the candidates, but it will also test the candidate's the knowledge and make sure the candidate is right for the skill set as well as the personality.
Natalie, I'm getting excited, and you know why? Because I always simplify things as much as I can, as wordy as I can be. What that sourcing is doing for the companies, it's qualifying,
Mm-hmm.
so they don't have to go through all of this. That's not for me. That's not, and it might be in that number that they present a number, but it'll be much smaller. Is there any merit to what I just shared with you? about how they qualify with their sourcing so that they narrow it down for the businesses?
Exactly. So rather than you getting 100 candidates
Yes.
and then narrowing down to 20 that may not be that great, you're actually
Mhm.
narrowing down to maybe 3 or 6 that actually is right candidates. And then narrowing, and then me as the recruiter speaking with the candidates and then narrowing down to 3 top-notch candidates and then offering one candidate. And then if that candidate decides to turn it down, you do still have 2 top-notch candidate, right? We don't have to go back to back to square one.
Yes.
So in the nutshell, something that's been open, like a position that's been open for like 90 days or more, or even a year, now we
Uh-huh.
can fill within a week.
You know what, Natalie? All the time you're sharing this brilliance with me and with all of us who are tuning in here, here's what came to my noodle. And that is that company that you're working with, I
Mhm.
think one, and this is something that I learned the other day, they have to be, meaning small businesses and big businesses too, they have to be more cognizant of what they're seeking and what they're looking for, because there's no human connection with this skill that we're using with AI. So how do you get the companies to be more specific in what they're seeking and what they're looking for? Does that make any sense to you?
Yeah, so that's where I come in. So
Yes.
you still need a human, and that's where people don't understand. You still
Yeah.
need a human to speak to your client, to your hiring manager, to
Yes.
understand the position, to then be able to go to the AI to be able to go out there and seek for the position. So we have to be able to communicate the information to the AI. And to be able to communicate the information to the AI, we have to be able to have that discussion with the client.
Yes. Oh my goodness. That makes so much good old common sense. You know, a friend of mine said the other day, you know, Joy, the age of reasoning and common sense is gone. Well, I don't think so. I take the high road. And I think it's just what you express and how you express it. And what you shared is how all of us learn to use and utilize AI to our
Mhm.
advantage, which is what you've done. Wow,
Absolutely.
I get excited, Natalie. And you know I love this stuff. And all the people, the team that I have, they know I get excited too, even though half the time I don't know what I'm doing, but I do it anyway. I'm going to ask my engineer to put you in the green room, and I want to speak to a couple of things that we're doing. And then I'm going to come back to you. And I want you to tell me how professionals, people that you're working with, can maximize their skills and their career growth with AI. That's what we're
Okay.
going to talk about. You spoke to it lightly, but we're going to go deeper. So hold
Okay.
tight. I'll be back with you in a second. Oh my goodness, I do get excited. I can't help it. It's just in my DNA. Here's what I want to share with you, and I do this every time we come together. I have a group. It's called the Leading Ladies Leaving Legacies. Natalie is a person there, and I have every grouping from the middle from the beginning when you pop out of the womb to the middle to the elder to the season, because we don't do age here. We do skills. We do profound knowing and wanting to know, that hunger, and we share that information with others. It's all about your vision. It's all about your mission and your purpose. And we want you to come in and be a part of this group so that you can meet and greet others and learn to collaborate and share what you're all about. That's what this group is about. And I'm inviting you to join us. The other thing that I'm excited about, oh my, there is something called YouTube. I bet you've heard of it. Everyone has. It's the #1 search engine in the whole world, I've discovered. And now we've always been a part of it, but now we're doing Joy Ruffin, fashioning femininity, style, and truth. And the favorite word, which ties into everything, is truth, femininity, and style. Fashioning all of those together. They merge together. So connect with me. Every week we're there. Subscribe to the channel. We want numbers. We want numbers about people who are interested in learning more about leadership, style, and how you show up. That said, make sure that when you do connect, that you leave your comments. The good, the bad, and the so-so. We don't do ugly. Now, take a look at this graphic. Nathalie Chauvel. I love her last name because maybe some of you don't know, but I have this fascination with the French, always have had. It's not because I started off in the fashion industry and they are the premier knowing about it. It's just French, whatever, however it nates. But Nathalie now is into the new in the stratosphere. So take a screenshot, take a snapshot. She's an AI strategist and a success coach. You can tell that she knows her business, and you can tell she's a hardcore New Yorker too, can't you? You can't miss that New York accent. That said, make sure that you connect with her because she works as a strategist, and that's major, and a success coach because that's what you're looking for. Natalie, when I come back to you, how are you helping? You spoke to it, but give us some more, as your generation says today, some more juice on AI strategy and how you're helping professionals to maximize and grow with their AI tools. Because back to that first word that you used there, and I was in that league, they're frightened, they're afraid of, they're scared. So how are you getting them to open up and to realize this is a new frontier? This is new terrain to conquer and to be aware of all that it can give you ultimately. What are you doing in that direction?
So I help people change their mindset in my coaching
Mm,
as well as
mhm,
businesses, right? But
mhm.
I also tell people you got to take the step by step. It's baby step, right?
I love that.
Just like when the internet came around, it was very daunting in the beginning, right?
Yes,
So it's the same thing with AI. AI is not going away. AI is
no.
only going to become bigger and better, and you have to embrace it. So, however you take it, whether you're a business owner and you
Hmm.
want to implement it to streamline your workflow, or you're an employee and you want to see how is it going to improve my job, because it
Hmm.
will improve your job one
Yes.
way or the other. At the end of the day, it's not going to take away your job. We need employees. However, you need to be proficient in AI.
Ooh, I love that. Natalie, all the time you're sharing that, you know what I'm thinking? Because I'm working now with a mentor that, well, most of the people that I stick with, I just adore. I fall in love, but I fall in love when there's integrity there, which
Mhm.
is why I'm so in admiration of what you're doing. But what you said, and you gave me this maximizing and blending the human creativity with the AI efficiency. And that's what you spoke to. We all use different verbiage, but it comes down to the same thing. And this is what he said to all of us in this community. You want to utilize AI, but you want it to have your flavor, your flair, and the flow of how you speak and what your ultimate aim and goal is, and how you get that to the AI. I keep saying robot, must be a better word, but how you get them to get to know you and how you speak and how you write, that's what's major. So how do we do that? Because so many people, when I see their content, I know that they didn't write it. So how do we get that humanness with the AI efficiency and the skills to merge and to blend together? What's the
Yeah.
secret? One of the secrets there.
It's through your prompting. So AI should not be, and that's the thing that people don't understand. AI should be mirroring your voice. It should
Yes.
be you. It should not be like, oh, great, now I could write a book, right? But
Mm-hmm.
it's not your ideas, right? It's AI.
Mm-hmm.
AI is a great tool to mirror your thoughts and your ideas. It should not be like stealing other people's content. That I don't believe in. It should be mirroring your ideas and your content.
Wow.
So, what that means is you should be improving on your prompting. So, how you do that is you keep talking to the AI as you would talk to anybody. And I have different prompts, and I work with people through my coaching on how to prompt and how to improve on their prompt, whether they're applying for a job or they're improving on their business content. But it's just through prompting and how you articulate in the AI, whether you're utilizing ChatGPT, Claude, Manus, whatever you're utilizing for your AI, it should be mirroring your thoughts.
Wow. My. I think that's in a song somewhere. What you just, what you just said. I do get excited. Somebody said to me, Joy, you need to calm down every now and then. I said, I can't because
You
it's not
sound
a
like
fake.
me.
It's not phony. It's me. But what you said, we need to allow AI to learn to mirror, to
Yeah.
model so we can master it for us. Speak our voice. I know this is what's missing because it's so new yet. And it is daunting. So we're all learning to master it. Now you mentioned all these different sites. There's so many of them. Say those names again. Some of them I know. Is it Claude or something? This is not a fair question, but life isn't fair, isn't it? It's beautiful though. What are some of the leading AI apps that are out here now?
Oh my God, there's so many.
I know. It's like, and it is daunting, isn't it?
So
It's
many.
daunting.
And I'm coming out with one too.
Does yours have a name yet?
Not yet. Mine is more for digital marketers and for coaches, but no. So one is everybody uses ChatGPT, right? So ChatGPT is free, and there's a paid version. Everybody uses Claude. So ChatGPT is great if you're utilizing for an email, and it's always update. I think they're coming out with a 5.0, I heard.
Wow.
Manus is new. Manus is by invitation only. So I got in because I teach and I coach. So I got in. But that's a paid version as well. Manus does everything from like building your website to doing your social media content. It does everything. Pretty much it's like having 10 different employees working for you.
Wow.
I know.
You mentioned a name there, Natalie, and I'm not familiar with it because I'm bringing myself up to speed, but by invitation only. And you said you received it because of what you're doing. But I know what by invitation only means, but does that mean it's going mainly for businesses and people that they know have a business that can sustain? I know what it means, but what does it mean for those of us who are really novices still with AI? Hi, Juliana.
So I think, thank you, Juliana. So
Yeah.
by the way, it's basically it's new, and it's basically a lot of people want to get in because of what it is. Like I said, it's having like 10 employees working for you. So instead of having Jasper, ChatGPT, I don't know, in video, like all these different ones, you have one. But because it's new, everybody's trying to get in. So some people received an invitation, some people have to apply, and then it's like a waiting list pretty much. So
you know what, Natalie? I'm sorry to interject, but I do get excited, and I try to curtail my energy, but it's hard. I'm learning though as I go.
You sound like me.
I know, that's why we're connected. That said, one of the things that I've discovered, and I always take the high road, I'm not a negative person, but I'm also a realist, and I see and I feel and I know things. You mentioned this site by invitation only and all the things that it does, like having 10 employees and so on. One of the things that I've noted, and I don't know how to speak to this except to speak to it, I can tell when this AI genius, whatever it might be, is doing all the work because there's no humanness involved there. There's no, the skill of the individual and the voice of the individual is not coming through. How do you think ultimately, I'm going off the rails here, are we going to be able to curtail that? And it's probably you're going to tell me that's one of the things your app is going to be able to do, add the human element more into the equation.
So here's what I think about AI and any AI. AI is as good as you prompt it to be, right?
That's what I wanted to hear.
Yeah, the thing is, AI can be like your worst nightmare, or it could be like your best friend. So if you're not prompting it the right way, you're not going to get the results that you want. You mentioned it earlier that you've seen information that you thought was not very good, right? Because that's the person prompting it. So that's where I say AI is not going to take over for people because the person is the one that's prompting the AI.
Natalie, I love that. And let me tell you why. I wish I could think of this movie. I'm going to have to do my own Google research here. You said AI is only as good as you prompt it to be. That makes good old common sense to me. But I remember seeing a movie some time ago, maybe back in the day, where it was still rather new. It's still new now. but this
Mhm.
guy fell in love with his robot, his genius, his AI.
Oh, I heard about that.
You
Yeah.
know, I have to find out the name of that movie because I think they're allowing it to do all the work for them without
Yeah.
adding their own voice and their own energy into it.
Mm.
Now, how would you say one of the first things that one can do if they're coming into the AI arena that they need to be about? I think you spoke to it, but how do they get their voice, the AI to mirror their voice, their flair, and their flavor into it, the flow of who they are?
So I tell people use ChatGPT in the beginning. Use a free version of ChatGPT or Claude in the beginning and
Okay.
utilize it for emails in the beginning. And I would just communicate it, either rewrite it, write an email, put it through ChatGPT, ask it to rewrite the email in a friendly manner or in a professional manner. Utilize different prompts, utilize different prompts, but speak to it like you would speak to anybody. So for example, if you have an assistant and you want your assistant to do some social media content, ask it to do some social media content. Don't just say, please write this email to my boss to do this, that. No, you have to give it some content. You can't expect the AI to know. You have to give it some information, but you have to give it some information the way you would write it. So, and it takes time for the AI. You can't expect the AI to know who you are the
Yes,
first day. Just like if you hired an assistant, your
yes,
assistant's not going to know you your first week.
yes, yes,
So
yes, yes.
it takes time for the AI to understand who you are by using different prompting. And then the AI is going to ask you some questions to make sure it's getting it correct. And then you're going to respond to it, and then you're going to answer it as you would anybody in your job or in your business.
The key word that you mentioned there, Natalie, and I've come to this myself, and all of what you just explained to us, so simplistic and yet maybe difficult for most, is the content.
Mhm.
You write and do your own content, and they get your flair, your flavor, and the flow of you, and then they'll be able to adjust to that. But here's something that you said that I want you to take it a little bit further. Chat GPT in the beginning,
Mhm.
and then you go on to another. Tell me why. Why do
So
we start with ChatGPT and then after a while, is it limited in some way that I'm not aware of?
ChatGPT and Claude are both, they're both technologies, both
Right,
systems that use artificial intelligence,
right,
right?
right.
And they're both free. Now, they both also have a paid version, a pro version.
Yes,
Now, I always suggest to people go with the free version in the beginning, just to get your hands wet in the
right,
beginning.
right. Hmm.
You never want to pay for anything unless you're an expert at something or you've utilized it in the beginning, because you don't know if you're going to like it. Once and you have enough of, like, ChatGPT is great for emails, it's great for social media content, and it also has the deep research as well. So
Mm.
it's advanced quite a bit. Claude, however, is like on steroids, right? It's like ChatGPT on steroids. I always tell business owners, and they feel the same way. Claude, on the other hand, really goes on to another level from a business perspective, right? So, like, if you want to do, let's say, a standard operating business, it can help you with that. If you want to do a marketing plan, a business plan, more of a deeper level, more of a deeper research, I
A
would
deeper
use Claude.
dive,
Exactly.
a
I
deeper
would use
dive.
Claude.
You know, I don't know where the time goes. I say this every week, Natalie. I do because I get immersed in what you're sharing with all of us. But you have given us a lot of nuggets, a lot of tools here. And I like the way you express all of the richness that's in this artificial intelligence, this AI. we're at the end here and time has gone by quickly. What do you want to leave us with? What pearls of wisdom, what one something do you want those who are tuning in now and those who will come later to walk away with? Share that with us briefly if you can.
I would like everybody to kind of like start learning AI. Take AI with small steps, just utilizing ChatGPT just for a little bit. Take away the negativity of what AI is and stop thinking that AI is going to take away my job or take away me, and start thinking AI is going to help me in my life and my business.
I love it. I love that. Nathalie, you couldn't have ended on a better note, because that's how I feel too. I adore you. You know that. It's a
And I
mutual
adore
admiration.
you. And I'll come back anytime.
We have this love fest going on. My engineer is going to scoot you away and I'll be with you in a second. Don't go anywhere. Okay. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Listen, AI, when I first, what was it, maybe a year and a half, 2 ago, it was frightened of Jesus. But now I'm growing to love it, and so will you. And you couldn't pick a better guide than Nathalie Chauvel. Do I love saying her last name? She's young, she's dynamic, and she knows her stuff, so to speak. Wherever you are and whatever you're doing and whatever you're about, stay courageous. Stay in this league of eagles, leading ladies, leaving legacies, because we are the bedrock. And yet, remember, it's all about balance. So until we meet the next time, enjoy the rest of this week and all the love in the universe. My heart to yours. Take care. Until we meet the next time, cheers. Bye.